Good morning, everybody, and welcome to PSG of Mercer County. And of course, happy Aloha Friday. If you're visiting us for the first time and wondering if I've gone a little nuts wearing a Hawaiian shirt in winter, no, I go nuts every Friday. And I just enjoy wearing my Hawaiian shirts on Friday. It's Aloha Friday. Welcome to the Professional Service Group of Mercer County. We are a group that is here for you, anybody that is in any kind of career transition, and we do have a lot of resources that we do make available to job search and job seekers, all to make your job search, make you in your job search more efficient and more effective. And in addition to welcoming you today and wishing you a happy Aloha Friday, today is National Chocolate Covered Nut Day. And so my favorite are dark chocolate covered cashews. That's what I enjoy the most. And I haven't had them a lot lately because I've been watching my weight. But if you enjoy chocolate covered nuts, today would be a nice day to celebrate. And for those of you that are into weird, nerdy things about dates, today's date, which is 2/25/22, if you put those numbers together, 22522, it's a palindrome. You can turn the numbers forward and backwards, and it will be a palindrome, 22522. It'll be that way until the end of the week. So today is a palindrome day. It will be that way through the end of the week. And some of you may have noticed that on Tuesday it was 22222. And so that's kind of a cute little piece of trivia. And one thing I learned, and if you spell Tuesday wrong, it's Tuesday with the letter TWO. And so it was 22222 on Tuesday, earlier this week. And the next time that will happen will actually be in 400 years when February 22nd, 2422 shows up on a Tuesday. So sadly, we won't be here to celebrate it, but maybe someone will listen to this recording in a few hundred years and will remember to look at their calendar on that date, 400 years from now. Excuse me, I did mention that we do have a lot of resources for job seekers. Among them, we do have our LinkedIn group. If you are not yet a member of our LinkedIn group, I encourage you to join our LinkedIn group. Go find it in LinkedIn. It is PSG of Mercer County. It is not a hidden group. But we keep it a little private in that when people request to join, they don't get in right away. We just have to go through the acceptance process. And our rule is we want anyone who's joined our group, our LinkedIn group, to have been to at least one of our either virtual or in-person groups, someone who has an interest of some sort in helping job seekers or job search. Members in the group are able to share articles, share job leads, comment on other people's posts. And so we encourage you to take a look or contribute as you can. A lot of people a little bit shy to contribute when they're first in a group. I'd encourage you not to worry too much about that. Maybe you've gotten an email from a recruiter and the position isn't relevant to you. Copy that out of the email, paste it into as a discussion in our LinkedIn group and share it with others. And that will also help your LinkedIn profile because it'll show LinkedIn that you are active on LinkedIn. So please do that. We have almost 1,700 members, and it's been really funny. We've been teetering up and down between about 1,697 and 1,700 with the people joining and dropping out at about the same pace. So it's just what's going on in our group's membership right now. We do also have a website. Our website is psgofmercercounty.org, psgofmercercounty.org. It is more than just our group's landing page. It is over 120 web pages of content. There's just a lot of information that we've assembled for all job seekers. And so you may want to look, there's a menu along the top, and one of the first menu options is called Career Options. And so with career options, there's a lot of information in there, maybe about getting started. So if you're new to job search, you may want to review the getting started, or maybe you've been stuck in a job search, not making much progress. The getting started information and pages that are there may be helpful to getting restarted. If you're thinking of switching from being full-time employee to start working as a consultant, want to learn a little bit more about that, we have that kind of information. Maybe you're even interested in starting a business, buying a franchise. There's lots of information in the career options pages on our website. So go take a look at that. And we have also a link to our YouTube channel as well. So if you don't find us on YouTube, you can find the link there. And also in the upper right corner of just about every page of the website is a link called Meeting Presentation Documents. And so when our presenters are able to have leave behinds, and whether it's slide decks or other promotional or helpful materials, we do post that in our meeting presentation documents. Each meeting has its own set of documents from that meeting, so you can go check out that as well. So what are meeting presentation documents? This is a meeting, and if Beth and Sarah are able to share anything with us, those will be the presentation documents, and that's what will be in this week's folder. Okay, so I think we are all set to go. I'm really excited about our program today. Today is 2 for the price of 1. And so we are having a wonderful presentation on wellness. I will be introducing our 2 coaches in just a moment. We have 2 coaches talk about 2 different types or things that are important in the wellness area. And yes, they are a little bit different in topic, and they are meant to be that way because wellness is certainly a very important and wide category. And so I'm going to introduce our 2 coaches in the order in which they will present, which coincidentally is alphabetical order, but they figured it out on themselves and just let me know how they're going. So I want to let you know. Beth Fitzgerald is an executive coach and strategist, blogger, master EFT practitioner, international speaker and trainer, as well as the author of the recently published motivational book, The Wake Up Call, which I have on my desk right over there. She is also a wife, mother of 4 children and 2 big dogs, an outdoor enthusiast who lives near Princeton, New Jersey. She is a graduate of Rutgers University. In her previous life, she worked on Wall Street for Prudential as well as Oppenheimer Funds. So we welcome Beth. And also wellness coach Sarah Reinholtz taught children from elementary up to high school for over 25 years after having received a Bachelor of Arts degree in special education. Besides being an educator, she has been teaching people to have balance in their lives, to create a healthy lifestyle, and how to manage their stress. Sarah is a motivational, inspiring speaker. She has been on a journey of natural healing for many years and wants to share her knowledge with others. Sarah wants to make a difference in other people's lives by showing them how to achieve the optimum health. So PSG of Mercer County is very pleased to welcome Beth Fitzgerald and Sarah Reinholtz.
Yeah.
And Beth, it is your meeting.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I'm so delighted to be here along with Sarah, who I had the pleasure of meeting through PSG and over the past 2 weeks as we prepared for this. What I'm going to talk about today first is I'm going to skip my coaching piece and focus in on the energy work, because that's where the wellness piece of this whole kind of session is today. I want to give you a little bit of a disclaimer before we start, because probably most of you haven't really heard about energy, or maybe haven't done an energy practice in the past. So I just want to explain a little bit. Number one, we're going to work on energy and mindfulness today. We're going to do a lovely breathing technique. You're going to be very relaxed. By the time Sarah's talking, you are going to be in, kind of a very peaceful state, hopefully. But a couple things that I want to share with you are these. First, this is not a form of therapy, and I am not a licensed therapist. Additionally, I am not a doctor, and we will not be discussing any form of medical advice, mental or physical. The primary focus of energy work is our energetic body, and I'm going to explain that to you in a second, and then we are going to go into a session where you're just going to close your eyes and breathe. So having said that, I want to make sure that you are in a safe place. We know that around here in the Princeton area, we got some ice and rain. And so I want to make sure that you are not in a car. If you're in a car, by all means listen, but do not follow my instructions at all. I need you to be in a safe, comfortable place. I'm going to encourage you to not multitask. So if you have notifications on your phone or your laptop, whatever device you are currently using, I encourage you to shut them off and give yourself this kind of 15 or 20 minute moment of peace. And we're going to work on what's called stuck energy, and I'm going to explain that in a second. So the perfect environment is one that you are comfortable in, a chair that you are comfortable, maybe one that you can even lean your head back. If you need to switch locations right now, by all means do so. I want you to be in a seat that's not only comfortable but safe and free from distractions. So what is energy work? I came into energy work about, geez, 8 or 9 years ago, and it has changed my coaching practice. So you've all experienced energy. It sounds like it's in the kind of yoga world, but you've all experienced energy, and I wanna give you that explanation so that you resonate with what I'm talking about. So have you ever been in maybe an elevator or somewhere where you've been around someone where you said, I really don't like the vibe I'm getting from this person? If you have your screen on, raise your hand if you've been in that situation where you said, I really don't like the vibe I'm getting from that person. What you're saying is, I don't like their vibration, right? There's something about that vibration that is not resonating with you. So there's one explanation of where just a sense or a vibration that you felt didn't resonate with you and made you feel uncomfortable. Another example is if anybody has ever asked you to maybe speak in public and that isn't your thing, somewhere where you got butterflies in your stomach, or we say butterflies in your stomach. There are no butterflies in your stomach, right? You just had that sensation that something didn't feel right, and you're like, okay, is it fear? What is it? You felt it. You felt it physically in your stomach. But what happened at that moment that butterflies came into your stomach? So that's energy. And as an energist, I can tell you there is no good or bad energy. It either flows or it is stuck. And when it flows, when you think of something that was really, really amazing that happened in the last week, think of whatever that is. Is it maybe a phone call with a dear friend or a colleague? I know David and I had breakfast the other day, not David Schuckman, and that was there he is waving. We had a beautiful breakfast together, and that was flowing energy. I just thoroughly enjoyed his company. That would be a moment where I was flowing energy. But what I want you to think about, and again, it's not good nor bad, it's either flowing or stuck. What we're going to work on today is stuck energy. So I want you to think about a moment in time within the past maybe 5 days where you had an event that wasn't pleasant, something that may have been a struggle or a challenge or something that really got you upset, maybe angry or mad or sad or some other negative emotion. Do you have that thought right now, something that has happened in the past couple of days that was a struggle or a challenge? Yes, raise your hand if you have your cat. Okay, great. So now I'm going to ask you to define it, and you're going to define it for yourself. You don't need to define it out loud with me, but I want you to define it. So here's how we define it energetically. Where do you feel it in your body? And let me give you some examples. So when you think of that event, I want you to think of that event. You can visualize it if you can. You can think of the words that would come to your mind when you think of that event, or maybe the exchange that happened. Usually people will feel that in their body. They'll feel it in their stomach. They'll feel it in their solar plexus, which is kind of up from the stomach where the rib cage meets. You might feel it in your chest. You might feel it in or over or on your heart. You might feel it a little higher where it got a little hard to breathe, and you might feel it in your throat. That's primarily where you would feel stuck energy. Additionally, some people will feel it occasionally in their shoulders or in their head. It's not as common, but usually from your throat to your stomach is where you're feeling this energy. So pinpoint where you feel it. And then my second question to you is on a scale of -10 to +10, what is that number for you? Now, let me just help you pick a number. There is no right or wrong answer. We're just trying to find a place marker for this so that when we're done the exercise, you can see if the energy has moved. -10 is obviously the worst in our scenario. 0 is neutral. So I'm going to argue today that if it's something that you struggled with, something that was a challenge, something that didn't sit well with you, it's probably not 0. You're probably not in a position, if I were to ask you how you felt about it, you would probably not say, I'm neither here nor there. That would be 0. That saying those words or thinking of that event would not generate any emotional charge to you. So it's probably from -1 to -10. Pick whatever number seems like it resonates with you. And now I want you to think about that event again, and I want you to think, How big is this stuck energy? When you think of that location, so say it's your stomach, how big is it? Does it fill up the whole stomach? Is it the size of a basketball or a frisbee? Or is it a little smaller than that? Is it the size of a grapefruit? Whatever resonates with you, and maybe it's not even round at all. Maybe it has a different shape. What's the size of it? What's the shape of it, if there's a shape? What's the color of it, if there's a color? You know, some people will say black, some people will say red, some people will say gray, or some people will say there is no color. What do you see or feel when you think of this energy and this event? And lastly, does it have a weight or a texture? Again, you're just trying to wrap your hands around what it feels like for you, so that when we're done the breathing exercise, you can go back to that and say, did it change? There is no, and I will repeat myself, there is no right or wrong answer. It's specific and individualistic to you. So with that, having all that in mind, what I'm going to ask you to do now is I'm going to ask you to get comfortable in your chair in a safe place. You are not in a car. You are not operating heavy machinery. You're not riding a bike, none of that. You're comfortably, safely in a chair. And I'm going to ask you to close your eyes. If you would prefer to shut off your video camera at this point, you are welcome to do that. You don't have to. And what I'd like you to do is just get comfortable, closing your eyes, and beginning, I just want you to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And there will be moments when I will be silent. So just continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you, before we start, I want you to give this stuck energy permission to leave. Can you give this energy permission to leave? Whatever happened, you would prefer maybe that it didn't happen or that it was resolved. So just give this energy permission to leave. And where would you like it to leave your body? I will give you some. It can leave any way you want it to leave, but I'm just going to give you some visuals. If you think of gravity, you can allow this energy to just start to melt away, and maybe it will just drain through your legs and out your feet. Maybe you will breathe it out through your breath. Anything that doesn't serve you, you will hear me say that. Anything that doesn't serve you, you can breathe out through your breath. Maybe it evaporates through the top of your head. Maybe it comes out through your chest or wherever you're feeling this stuck energy. Maybe it leaves through your fingertips, and maybe it just literally dissipates throughout your entire body. Wherever it is, I just want you to give it permission to leave. And as we start this breath, again, follow that breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you to feel yourself grounded with your feet on the floor. I want you to feel the support of not only the floor and the earth that you are on, but I want you to feel the support of the chair that you are sitting in. Know that you are completely supported. And I want you to continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And if at any point you're uncomfortable, I want you to rearrange yourself to make yourself comfortable. I want you to be aware of your body. And with that, in through your nose, follow that breath as it goes into your lungs, and then out again through your mouth. And as you breathe in through your nose, I want you to think about bringing that breath to the very bottom of your lungs. Can you do that with the breath? And once it's full, exhale out through the mouth. Again, releasing anything that no longer serves you. And I want you to take one more deep breath, again, filling up your lungs. And I want you to feel everything expand. Feel your shoulders expand. Feel your chest expand. Maybe you feel your abdomen expand as well. And then hold it there for a second. And as you exhale, I want you to feel everything collapse. Feel your stomach collapse. Feel your chest give way, your shoulders drop, and the air leave. And now I want you to begin just breathing normally, whatever normal is for you, but I do want you to follow that breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you to guide that breath to the area where you have designated the stuck energy. I want you to guide that breath and bring that breath to that area specifically. And don't make it work. Just follow that breath and watch it just cascade down to the area that needs this breath, as if it were a waterfall. So as you bring the breath in, and then just let that air fall down into your midsection, completely covering the area that has the stuck energy. And as you bring that breath and guide that breath to that area, I just want you to see that energy getting smaller and smaller. Is it melting? Is it evaporating? How is it just getting smaller and smaller with your breath? Remember, as you bring the air to this area, that energy is neither good nor bad. It is just stuck, and your breath is allowing it to flow. So give it permission with that breath to just flow. And now, as you continue to breathe in through your nose, maybe change the color of the breath. We don't think of breath as having color. Maybe make it white. Can you bring white light into your body? And what does it look like as you breathe white light into your whole body? Can you fill up your whole body from your toes to the top of your head with this white light, this breath you're bringing in? Just allow it to come in. No special effort is necessary. And maybe choose a word. What would it look like if you were breathing in peace? Can you breathe in peace? And again, allow it to go to that area of concern. And on this next breath, what would it look like if you were to breathe in kindness? Can you bring kindness in to your body from the top of your head to the bottom of your toes? And for the next minute, I would like you to remain in silence and just do your best to stay focused on that energy going, that air going to that stuck energy. And if you find that your mind wanders, it's okay. Just bring yourself back to the breath and remain focused on the breath. I will be silent for the next minute, and then I will come back to you. Continue to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. And I want you to just spend the next minute making that stuck energy as small as possible. If you got it to the size of a baseball, then think a golf ball. If you've gotten to a golf ball, then maybe think of the size of a grape, or even as small as a tic tac, or even gone. Just see in the next minute how small you can make this energy. Again, just guiding that breath in and down to the area that is needed. If thinking of a waterfall again is helpful to you, just guide that air in and just allow it to cascade down freely, covering all areas of your body that need attention. And as you continue to focus on that, I want you to begin taking one more deep breath in through your nose. Again, filling up your lungs as best you can. If you'd like to hold it for a second. And then as you release it, really let anything that isn't serving you come out through your breath. See if you can send this breath across the room, wherever you are. Send that breath out of anything that is no longer serving you. And then you can begin to breathe naturally, whatever is most comfortable for you. And I want you to take notice of your feet on the floor again. Do you feel the floor? That support that is how we first began this session. You can roll your feet around, whatever feels good, making your feet come back to the room, rolling your ankles or your toes. Maybe go up your legs and move your knees from side to side. Maybe feel where your legs have come in contact with the chair. Maybe you forgot that you were in contact with the chair or where your back is touching the chair. You can move your midsection side to side if that's available to you. Come in contact with your shoulders. Would it be best to pull them up to your ears and down again, or would it feel better if you rolled them forward and rolled them back? Whatever is most comfortable. And then as you get up to your head, I'd like you to move your head side to side in a no fashion. Again, if that's available to you, and then again in a yes fashion, or you can roll it around, whatever is most comfortable. And lastly, I'd like you to just imagine that there is a string on the very top of your head, pulling your body up. And I'd like you to sit as tall as you can as that string pulls you up tall and straight. And once you're in this very comfortable, tall, straight position, as tall as you can be, I want you to imagine that someone actually comes over with a scissor and clips the string, and then just allow yourself to collapse into the chair safely, completely relaxed. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and return to the room. If any of you would like to turn your cameras on, I welcome you. I would like to see if anybody would like to share how their number changed. So we're going to go back to what we started with. You were on a scale of -1 to -10 because this was something you were struggling with. What is your number now? So I want you to think about that. What is your number? Did it change? Did the color or size of your stuck energy change? Is it smaller? Did the color change? Did the texture change? Did the weight change? Do you feel differently? And if anyone would like to share that, I would love to hear anybody's experience in this energy work. Sarah?
Well, my grapefruit size got smaller, was red and smaller and smaller. And like you said, it went to a golf ball and tic tac, and then it was gone. And I started from a 5 to a -5.
Okay, so a -5 to a +5?
Well, the 5, right? How are
Yeah.
you looking at it? 5 is.
Yeah, so negative is that it's a struggle, it's something that you don't want to remain there, and 5 would be I'm in a good place thinking about that event now.
Right, so it went from -5 to 5.
Fabulous. And then very often, if anybody can get to at least a -2 or a -1, we will always say, is there a message there for you? Is there anything that you received as a message? And maybe the answer is no, and you don't need to share it, Sarah.
Well, sometimes you have to be a little compassionate and empathetic. So even though I may have been resentful or upset, by being more empathetic and more understanding, it's easier to accept and let it go.
Brilliant. Oh, Sarah, that is brilliant. Oh my goodness. So beautiful. Because yes, we hold on to resentment because we're right or we're justified or we're, whatever, I was going to say righteous, but I already said right. And then when we sit back and say, okay, maybe I just need to look at this from a compassionate place. I know Marianne Williamson says in A Course in Miracles, she said, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And I always love that quote. David, you put your mic on. Did you want to share?
Yeah, I'll be glad to share. I started out a -2. There are 2 issues that I was working with. One was resolved actually before I came here. Is connection with a medical appointment that I had and some anxiety regarding that. The other one was an anxiety issue concerning something that's supposed to take place for tomorrow that I'm very uncertain with. So what occurred to me was something I've used many, many times, and we all have used it, I'm sure, is the word forgiveness. Forgiving myself for allowing myself to go into that space. And that was very powerful. I feel light right now. I feel good. I feel uplifted. The breathing helped. The little exercise helped as well. But the big what I call the F word is very powerful because it helped to transform me from where I was into where I am now, which is where I like to be all the time, but not always all the time, but as much as possible.
Absolutely. And you know what? I love that. The 3 words that have just come up, and I'll let anybody else share as well, but we have empathy, compassion, and forgiveness. Talking about great words to start your Friday morning, right? And not always our go-tos, but maybe a little breathing will get us there. David, thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. And I like that it's another F word. I used to have the F word in the house with my kids, and it was for the not the FA for bodily functions. I'm like, we don't say the F word. And my friends would be like, what? I go, yeah, bodily function. We don't use that word. Did anybody else want to share? Dan, nice to see you again.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too. I'm here because of you.
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate your talks. I like David. I kind of struggled with something earlier this week, but I took it head on last night, and it was actually speaking with a family member about a topic. But once the conversation started, it was very easy to address. It was very fluid. There was compassion, there was forgiveness, there was a lot of that involved without using those words, and particularly with a family member. So coming into this session, I guess prior to last night, I was probably a negative number 5, 4, somewhere around there. Today was probably, maybe I was neutral, maybe -1 to a neutral, but I like to think that this kind of brought me a little bit more into a positive number zone.
Fantastic. And what would you say if there was any message for you, Dan? What do you think you got from your conversation last night and then, kind of releasing some of that energy this morning that may have still been with you?
You got to think everything and everyone is not that bad. We have a tendency to maybe think the worst or maybe not think too positive of it. But I think if we give the other people the benefit of the doubt that, it's really not all that bad. And it makes you feel so much better that you just addressed it. You're like, why didn't I do this sooner? That kind of a thought, So that was my takeaway.
That's awesome. First of all, it was family, so I'm curious, did you feel that in your heart when I asked where do you feel it in your body?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we always feel our family in the heart, or anything that feels like family to us, we'll always feel that in our heart. Usually work gets a little bit more to the stomach, right? Where we're not as tied. But sometimes if you really have a tight relationship with work and you've been there forever, you do it is a personal thing, and it goes to the heart. But it's really interesting how it manifests in the body, and that if it really is someone that you love in some way, even if they've gone on a bad path, it will usually be the heart. Does anybody else have anything they want to share? I love what everybody has shared so far. Empathy, compassion, forgiveness, giving everybody the benefit of the doubt. I have a quote to that, Dan, and I always say, just remember, you always don't know the whole story. You never know the whole story. And so if you can use that as a guiding principle, and more often than not, I look at it after the fact and say, that's right. I want to lead with that. I really want to remember that. To lead with. I don't know the whole story. Even the people I know the best, right? I'm not inside their body. I don't know.
Yeah, I wanted to share also.
Great, please do. I can't. I think okay. I have 2 microphones on. I can't see your name. Alan. Alan. Hi. How are you? Nice to see you again.
Yeah, same. Thank you for the exercise. I found it very valuable. I really found that starting and visualizing was very powerful. I was looking at it as like a square, and giving it a black color was good, and then seeing it kind of melt away almost like it was an ice cube. Found it very very powerful to experience that. And the situation was also with a family member on my wife's side of the family, and for the most part, it's in a better place now, but I realized that I was holding on to, some of the anger and ill feelings about it. So just going through the exercise, letting it dissipate and leave, I found that it was very helpful. And my body now just feels much more relaxed and kind of tingly. So it feels like it definitely released. And I think my number was probably a -8, and it's down now into the positives, like maybe +2 or 3. So it was a significant change.
That's huge. And what message would you say you got from that after holding on to that anger, even though you thought it was resolved, right? But that stuck energy can still be there.
The message was that it didn't need to be there anymore, and it was time to release it. So it was just a positive way of, getting rid of something that was more negative.
Yeah, time to release it is great, right? We hold on to these things, and some things we hold on for years and years and years. I have moved. I didn't move it. I have facilitated in the movement of energy that has been with people who are in their 70s, and they've held it from a childhood event. The beautiful part of energy work is, it's the energy of it all, right? If you want to talk about the actual event, you should see a therapist, but it's just that I'm just talking about how you physically feel that in your body, and can we release that? And with, all of you that are on the call today, just know that you can do this breathing exercise on your own. You don't necessarily need me to facilitate it. It's helpful for me to guide you through it, but especially if you were going on a job interview and you felt, that tension in your stomach, you can always close again in a safe place, but you can always do a breathing exercise on your own and just visualize yourself melting, as Alan said, or however you saw that energy go away. You can do this on your own, just breathing, and you can share this with family and friends when they feel something in their body. You can breathe your way through it. I think I'm out of time, but I do see there was one other person that put their mic on. No, he just turned it off. Okay. So I don't want to infringe upon Sarah's time. If anybody has any more questions, you're welcome to reach me. David put my contact information in the chat. It's very simple. My website is BethFitzgerald.com, and you can reach me at Beth@BethFitzgerald.com. And I do a daily blog. So if you would would like to have some daily motivation, David will tell you I write about everything. So Monday through Friday, if you want to jump on my website or email me, and I'll be happy to add you. And I think Dan is on. There's some others that are on. So I welcome you to join. It's free, and it goes out Monday through Friday. So thank you for having me. It was really a pleasure to be with you today, and I can't wait to hear what Sarah has to say.
Well, terrific. Thank you very much, Beth. Yes, I did put your contact information, so people feel free to reach out to Beth. And remember, we're going to be hanging around after the meeting is over, after Sarah's presentation. Beth and Sarah are welcome to hang around with us. So maybe if you got some questions, then you can speak with either of them or follow up with them privately. So I did announce or introduce Sarah by her bio just a few minutes ago. So I'm just reintroducing Sarah Reinholz. And to help facilitate this, I am actually going to share my screen. Give me just one moment, Sarah, and
Sure.
we will see if we can coordinate our tech and ourselves. There we go. So you should be seeing that. Oops, let's go to the first slide. There we go.
Yeah. All right. Good morning, everyone. As David said, I'm Sarah Reinholz, and I'm a health and a mindset coach. And I've been teaching about health and wellness for many years, even when I was a teacher for 25 years. And I want to talk about hydration. It's probably the easiest and the best thing that you could do for your health. So why is it important? Let's find out. Next slide. We are made up of 70% water, mostly water. And when we eliminate, when we sweat, we need to replenish that. So it's really important to hydrate. According to the Mayo Clinic, most people are not even aware of how much water they drink. And I'm going to show you how to keep track and different ways, different tips to drink more. So why is it important? Because water is involved in every type of cellular process in your body. And the Mayo Clinic has actually said that. And they're saying also that when you're dehydrated and not getting enough water, your body is not working as well, and it affects your metabolism and even your fat burning capacity. So in the next slide, you can see that we are mostly water. And your body is going to function much better, just like in a car. Without oil and gas, you're not going anywhere. You're going to sit there and wait for it to take you somewhere, but it's not going because you're not giving it what it needs. And the body is the same thing. If you're not giving your body enough water, if you're not giving enough nourishment, nutrition, your body is not going to do as well as if you gave it what it needed. So in the next slide, sometimes we confuse hunger and thirst. It may not be time to eat, and all of a sudden you feel hungry and you think, oh, I should probably eat something. But very often that signal that you're getting is that your body is lacking water. So take a drink of water, and oftentimes that's what it is. So it's easy to confuse the two. And once you do, you'll feel the difference. So in the next slide, there's a study that shows that if you drink a glass of water before you eat, even if you do it just for one meal a day, if you take 75, it consumes 75 fewer calories. And you multiply that by 365, and you will consume 27,000 fewer calories. Now that translates to 8 pounds, which is quite substantial. So it's good to do it before every meal, but even if you just did it before one, you will see that 8 pounds. So it's a good thing to start doing before, and it's better for digestion as well. Okay, so let's move on. And remember, try this before your next meal. Wherever you are, if you have a bottle or a cup and you just want to just do that before you eat. Okay, so let's see what hydration is about, dehydration. What does that mean? The next slide will give you examples and different signs that you want to look for. Now, what does it mean? It means that you're taking in less fluids than your body is getting rid of, than your body's losing. And some of the signs are fatigue, muscle cramps, and headaches. So sometimes you're not feeling well and you don't really know why. So have a glass of water, and oftentimes it's because you're not drinking enough. Most people don't drink enough. If I took a poll, many of you might say you only drink a couple, maybe 1 or 2 cups. I find most people don't drink the 6 to 8 cups that is recommended. So other signs are lightheadedness, low blood pressure, lack of focus, or rapid heartbeat. And if this happens over an extended period of time, sometimes it can affect your organs and have long-term effects. So it really can affect your health in a big way. So let's see how you can make a difference. Let's go to the next slide. Here are some tips on drinking more water. Many people say to me, I don't like the taste of water, or I'm not drinking enough. So this is what I do. When I wake up in the morning, I always have a cup of water on the counter, and I drink before I eat anything, at least 1 cup of water. And if you're not drinking much water right now, make it a goal to drink at least 3 to 4. So start slowly and ease up, and you want to achieve closer to 6 to 8. Now, just the act of setting the goal and saying that you want to do it is motivating and will help you succeed. Another way to be successful is to use a reusable bottle. So if you see that it's empty, then it'll be a visual reminder for you to drink more water. And then it's also better for the environment. Sometimes using a bottle that has, the different ounces that you're drinking helps you to keep track as well. There's sports bottles that do that. Now, you could use an alarm so that it'll remind you every hour or every couple hours to drink a cup. And also, a way to get you to drink more is to add lemon or lime. And also, I've used oranges or cucumbers. And if it's more flavorful, you're more likely to drink more. So another recommendation is to replace water with drinks such as soda, sports drinks. Instead of having that, I recommend water, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So let's go to the next slide. Why not drink sports drinks and soda and coffee? Because they have a lot of sugar and undesirable ingredients. They also have caffeine, which is a stimulant, and causes the highs and the lows. Sometimes you can have a lot of energy, and all of a sudden your body crashes. So the goal is to have a more level blood sugar, and the sugar and the chemicals that you find in these drinks, they do not support the blood sugar. So coffee and soda also dehydrate you rather than hydrate you. And if you want to use teas, I recommend using herbal teas without caffeine. So coffee and soda would not be one of your waters when you're counting how many waters per day, because it counteracts what you want to achieve. Excuse me. It dehydrates you. So you want to drink either water or herbal teas. That's the goal. All right, so let's move on. And so what are some of the benefits of drinking water as opposed to soda, coffee, and sports drinks? Increases your metabolism and your ability to burn fat. It's good for digestion. And as I mentioned before, drinking before you eat is much more beneficial, because drinking while you're eating can break down your digestion. So you want to just have very little bit. Before is better. Also, it helps to maintain your electrolyte balance with sodium and other minerals. It lowers your risk of bladder and colorectal cancer, and it removes toxins from your liver and your kidneys. And it also regulates body temperature. So many benefits to drinking water. Okay, so besides taking in fluids, it's also important to eat foods that have a lot of liquid in it, a lot of water. And one of the highest is cucumber and watermelon. As you can see, cucumber is 95% and watermelon is 92%. And as we go to strawberries and salad greens, yogurt, papaya, and butternut squash, they're all very high. They're the 7 highest hydrating foods. There's so many others, but these are the highest. And especially when it's hot out, you want to be mindful of eating more hydrating foods. Okay, so let's go on. So other reasons to hydrate is because it protects your bones and your joints, and it helps your body work better in every respect. And it helps you to have more energy and focus. So why wouldn't you want to hydrate? Especially if you can add things that make it more flavorful. All right, let's move to the next one. Now, it's also very beneficial for your skin. And as we get older, our skin needs even more hydration. It helps your face be more elastic and firm, and it avoids a lot of the wrinkles that come as we age. So you want to be mindful of that for your face. It also reduces age spots and dehydrated, more drying type face. It'll be more moist and hydrating. Okay, so let's go on to the next one. So my major message is don't forget to hydrate, and hope I've given you some tips on how to do that. Now, what I do is help you on your wellness journey. And one of the things that I recommend is drinking more water. And I also teach about, I approach wellness, health and wellness from a point of view of the philosophy of regeneration, that when you give the body the right combination of whole foods and you cleanse the body gets into balance. So teaching about how to give your body what it needs and create health with whole food nutrition. And also I work on mindfulness as well and how to manage your stress. So these are things that I can help you with if you're interested. My information is right here. I have a website, sunnysarah.net, and I'd be happy to meet with you and help you on your wellness goals. Does anybody have any questions that that came up as far as hydrating or ways to help you to do that? Anybody?
And for anyone who may have a question, feel free to just unmute yourself and ask Sarah or ask Beth. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer your questions.
Sarah,
Hey,
this is Greg. I'll let Dan go.
I'm sorry. Sarah, what's your thoughts on, I just lost my mind, the 9.5 water. I'm trying to think the type of water it is. Alkaline water, thank you. What's your thoughts on alkaline water?
Yeah, there's some good benefits with that, but you have to read the ingredients, because sometimes they add some of those, the sugar and the other ingredients that are not so desirable. But some of them can be beneficial. And if you are mindful of that and it's pure water, then I would say it's probably very beneficial.
Okay.
Did somebody have another question as well?
Sarah, it's Greg. It's just a comment. I remember I had a nutritionist at work several years ago, said that a large glass of water to start your morning kind of just tells the body to, wake up and start doing its daily thing. So
That's right.
I try to be very mindful of that first one in the morning is an important one.
Absolutely, that's a good point. That's how I look at it as well. Let me ask you, how many people here do actually drink 6 to 8 glasses of water? Okay, so that's usually what happens. Not very many people do, and that's part of why I do this. So educate and show you how it can make such a difference, because sometimes you're not having a good day, or maybe you're feeling tired. whoops. And then you realize, oh my goodness, didn't have any water yet today. And when you drink, it just gives your body that signal. Oh, I need to drink more of that. And so just that glass of water can get you started on a better path. So I want to leave you with that thought that hydration is so key, and all the reasons that I had given you, it really does make a difference in your health. And it's not a difficult thing to do, and it's not expensive. So invest in your health. And that's my message is I want people to invest in their health. And when you do, you're going to get the best returns. And if you'd like more information, my information is up. So, reach out to me. I have, on my website, I have blogs about different nutritional topics, different topics about healthy living. So feel free to sunnysarah.net. You could go on there and also find out about the whole food nutrition. I mentioned about the philosophy of regeneration. I just want to show you something that I do. I use Fortune Delight, which is a powder, and I add it to my water for even more benefits. It comes in a packet like this in different flavors. And this is what I drink throughout the day. And it helps, it first has a lot of antioxidants. It helps it feeds your cleansing system and helps your body get rid of toxins, waste, and fat. And it helps to keep you more hydrated even more than water. And I find that in the summer when I'm working out, playing tennis, it really helps me to feel more hydrated. So this is part of the regeneration program that I do. And it's a way to nourish. And then this would be the cleansing part and then creating balance. So it's a natural way to be healthy and, feel good and look good. And if anybody has any questions about that, I'd be happy to answer that too.
Yeah, excuse me, Sarah. There's a question from Alan posted in chat. And the question is, does having fruits and vegetables with a lot of water take the place of drinking some of the glasses of water?
That was a very good question. I would say if you eat foods that have a lot of water in them, that would, if you're having at least 2 or 3 fruits or a lot of watermelon and cucumber, probably at least a half a cup or a cup could be substituted for it, depending on how much you're eating. But you want to still drink throughout the day and just realize that maybe it's another half a cup or a cup if you're doing that. So you're really getting so much benefit from those fruits and vegetables. And in the summertime, we really need to hydrate even more. So even if you're drinking, you want to still have those added fruits and vegetables, especially at the hottest time is definitely helpful.
Yeah, great, thank you. There's also a question from Michael. So Michael Colber, if you want to unmute real quick and ask away.
Yes, Sarah, can you hear me?
A little bit, not that well.
Yeah, speak up, Michael, but we can
All
hear
right,
you.
I was wearing a mask where I am, but what is flavored seltzer okay, or is there downsides to that?
Okay, seltzer is not the best. It interferes with digestion, so I don't recommend bubbled water. Once in a while, maybe, but not on a regular basis. Yeah, I would suggest water and maybe adding things to it that you like that are flavorful. That's okay. Especially natural fruits or vegetables, like I mentioned, the lemon, the lime, the cucumber. So once in a while, it's okay, but it's long term, it's not that good for digestion.
Okay, thank you. And I did mute Michael. He had a little background noise too, so but glad he got that in. And you were wondering, will Kathy join us? And she had the very same question posted. So
she's
about
here.
drinking. Yep. So she's here. So, but she asked the same question. So thank you for answering that.
Okay, excellent.
All right, folks.
So my goal was for you, if you can walk away and say that you learned one new thing, that was my goal, that you learned something new that you didn't know before, And even better if you start drinking more water. I taught in my community when I first moved here, and one of the women came up to me and she said, you know, I've been drinking a lot more water since your talk. And I said, well, that's excellent. That's what I like to hear. And it's something simple that you can do for yourself and so beneficial. So thank you all for coming. And I appreciate you being here. And I hope it was beneficial for you.
Well, thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Beth. Your goal was our goal. And certainly, you know, we're so appreciative that you were both able to come visit with us this week and give us some insights and new information about topics related around wellness. You know, job search gets old for a lot of us pretty fast. You know, we get frustrated, we get tired, even if it's not yet a long process, we feel like it's a long process. And whether it's managing stress or keeping up with your health as you go through the stress by managing negative thoughts, or keeping your body cleansed and drinking properly, and of course managing your weight and other health. So I'm very appreciative that you were both able to join us. And you know, one of the things that I comment often about a group like the PSG groups that meet weekly, we really have the luxury to present a very wide variety of topics. And I'm glad that once or twice a year, at the very least, we do wellness-oriented topics. So I'm glad you were available for us.
Oh, yes. Glad we could do it. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And so, yeah, folks, I did put both for Sarah and Beth, their contact information again in the chat. When the meeting is over later, now you can download the chat if you want. In the upper left corner, if you've got the GoToMeeting screen up, is a logo for GoToMeeting. And if you click on that, is a drop-down menu. And from there, you can download the chat to your own computer. I will be posting the chat file a little bit later today in our website. As I mentioned, it's called Meeting Presentation Documents, along with a link to this video as well. And so that will all be available a little bit shortly. And want to let you know what's going on over the next couple of weeks at PSG of Mercer County as well, just before we wrap up the meeting. We'll be right back here on March 4th. Louis Maltby will be here on March 4th. He's an attorney with the National Work Rights Institute, and he's going to be talking about navigating the pre-employment screening minefield. So there's a lot of things that you need to be worried about during pre-employment screening. And so as an attorney, he has a legal view perspective from it. Certainly is very important things we just need to be aware of from pre-employment screening. So that's what we will be doing next week on March 4th. And the following week is March 11th, and we had a late-minute reschedule. And so I will be presenting a presentation on interview preparation and tips. And by late reschedule, we did have another presenter who, unfortunately for us, needed to reschedule, couldn't present on March 11th. So I'm going to be wearing all the hats that day and talking about interview preparation and tips, including tips for video interviewing. A lot of people want to get some good tips for that, since video interviews are here to stay. So that's what's going on for the next couple of weeks here at PSG of Mercer County. Also this week, or I should say next week now, on Monday, PSG of Central New Jersey will be presenting 10:30 at Monday. Joey Himmelfarb will be presenting. Always a wonderful presentation, so you may want to get more information at psgcnj.biz, psgcnj.biz, and our other cousin organization, PSG of Morris County, psgmc.org. psgmc.org. Their meeting starts at 9:30 on Wednesday, but they open up their meeting earlier, close to 8:30, for hanging around the meeting room. So you're welcome to go visit those groups as well. So once again, thank you very much to Beth Fitzgerald and Sarah Reinholtz. We appreciate your friendship and support of PSG of Mercer County. And remember, this video will be available a little bit later today on our YouTube channel. If you don't know it, it is PSG of Mercer County, or there's a link on our website. And hopefully we'll get to see each other very soon, all of us. But if not, we'll see each other virtually. And until then, I will simply say, bye, everybody.